years go, living the dangerous life. Hey, 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 every day when I wake, I'm trying to get up, they're knocking me down.
Cheering me up, spitting me out.
Hey, 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 when I need to be saved, you're making me strong, you're making me stand.
Never will fall, never will let.
Shot like a rocket up into the sky, nothing can stop me tonight. You make me feel invincible, earthquake powerful, just like a tidal wave. You make me brave, you're my titanium fight song, raise it up like the roar of victory in a stadium. Feel invincible, earthquake powerful, just like a tidal wave. You make me brave, you're my titanium fight song, raise it up like the roar of victory in a stadium. Who can touch me, 'cause I'm who can stop me tonight? You make me feel invincible. I feel it, invincible. I feel it, invincible.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jack Trice Stadium in Ames, Iowa. This is Penthouse Gameday. I'm Michael Egley.
I'm Dylan McDermott.
I'm Kyle Huseman.
I'm Ryan Dalton.
All right, and we're just gonna get right into it. Kyle, what do you got?
We're going to start out with one team that has surprised us so far through 2 weeks of the season. Just start with Michael, and then we will head down the line.
So I'm gonna go with Maryland. They put up 60-some points on Syracuse last week. That's the reason game day is over there. Their offense has just been electric so far. They've been the most surprising to me.
For me, I have two. One is Minnesota. I thought they were going to be a lot better than they actually are right now.
Oh.
And the other one is Wisconsin. They've allowed 0 points per game so far after the first 2 games. So we'll see if they can keep that up.
Mine is LSU. Sounds kind of interesting considering they're the top 10 team to start the season. But they look like this year they can actually contend with Alabama rather than other years where they really weren't in contention and they lost by, 26 last year?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
All right, Ryan. What do you got?
Honestly, I have to go with Mike on this one as well. I think Maryland's the surprise team for me as well because, last year they were like just kind of mediocre and like they've been mediocre for the past couple of years now. And now this year they're kind of stepping up a little bit. So
There were some good transfers.
Yeah.
All right, we got a list of 9 games. 8 games this week. We'll start out with Florida at Kentucky, and we'll start, Michael, again, just go down the line.
I'm going to take Florida. I really like the changes their offense has made this year. Felipe Franks is playing better than last year. Still not playing as good as he could be, but they're playing better. They're scoring points. I like Florida.
I'm going to go with Florida too on this one. I think Kentucky's going to keep it close, but Florida's going to end up winning the game in the end.
I'm going to go with Florida as well. It would have been more interesting if Terry Wilson wasn't out for the season since it's at Kentucky as well. But I do have Florida winning. They've gotten 14 sacks this year so far, so they'll get the pressure on.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Florida as well on that one. Yeah, Kentucky they're gonna keep it pretty close, but without their quarterback, it's gonna be tough.
Next game, we have Arizona State playing at Michigan State. Arizona State beat Michigan State last year.
True that they did. We watched that game in the Penthouse.
we
that was,
did.
that was one of the first games we watched together.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
That was a good time.
Good times.
Yep.
I'm going to take Michigan State this year. Playing in East Lansing is always tough. Michigan State hasn't really had much of an offense so far, but their defense is stout, so I like them to win.
I'm going to go ahead and pick Michigan State on this one because the Big Ten, baby.
I'm actually going with Arizona State.
Ooh.
I don't think Michigan State's offense is going to be good enough. Arizona State just has to get probably 20, 25 points to have a chance to win. Brian Lewerke still, to me, is not the quarterback for Michigan State.
And they got nice uniforms.
That is true.
Arizona State does.
Eno Benjamin.
That's true.
I think he's going to have a
He
good
is
game. I think he's going to have a good game, even though Michigan State doesn't allow a lot of rush yards.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Big Ten this one as well. I mean, I'm not a fan of the quarterback. Or, he's not the best quarterback they've ever had, but the defense you cannot ignore. And Arizona State's going to be on the road, I think, right?
It's going to be a low-scoring game, yeah.
It's at
I'm going to go with
State.
Michigan State. So.
Next game, we got TCU at Purdue.
I'm going to go TCU. They've really outperformed a lot of their games so far. Even though they played an SCS opponent week 1, they still didn't miss a step at all, so that's a good sign.
I'm also going with TCU in this one. I don't think Purdue can match up to TCU this year.
I'm going to go with TCU as well. Jalen Rieger and Rondale Moore, though. That's going to be a great matchup to watch, 2 wide receivers, but I am picking TCU.
Yeah, it's a tough call for me, but I'll go with TCU as well.
I thought he was going to say Purdue for a second.
You know, I was thinking about it. I really was.
When are we going to get our first true Ryan Dalton?
Well, I wanted to pick Purdue, but you know, they don't have their quarterback this year.
All right.
So.
Next game, Stanford at UCF. Could be impacted by the possible hurricane.
That's
though.
true. It could be. I think I like UCF. Stanford had a pretty big lead. They had like 2-possession lead over USC last week, and they blew that. And they ended up losing by
25.
25.
Yeah,
so
they ended up dropping the ball
3-possession
pretty
loss.
big on that one.
4-possession loss.
I'm gonna go ahead and pick UCF on this one. They've been playing pretty well lately, and Stanford being Stanford.
Yeah.
I'm going with UCF as well. Picked Stanford in the preseason, but with that loss last week, they do get KJ Costello back at quarterback this week, but I'm still picking UCF.
Yeah, I have to go with UCF. That's a pretty easy one for me. Stanford did not perform to the expectation they were supposed to last week. So.
Next one, Florida State traveling to Virginia.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that is.
I'm going to take Virginia on that one. I haven't been too impressed with Florida State so far. They've improved a little bit from last year when they missed a bowl game, but I still don't think I really liked what Virginia had last year, and I think they're going to win on Saturday.
I'm also gonna go with Virginia in this one.
I'm going to go with Virginia as well. Would have been a little bit harder to pick if Florida State wouldn't have only won by 1 against Louisiana Monroe last week. Their defense isn't that good.
Yeah, I have to go with Virginia as well on this one. The program's trending up, so I'm liking where they're going.
Next one, Clemson at Syracuse. Could have had game day, but Syracuse struggled last week against Maryland. to say the least.
A lot.
If it hadn't been for last week, I would have picked Syracuse, but now I'm taking Clemson to win this one pretty easily.
I'm taking Clemson after Syracuse's loss last week.
Tommy DeVito, quarterback for Syracuse, not doing nearly what I thought he could. Could have been a possible upset, and I'd say that Clemson wins by 21 plus.
Yeah, I have to go with Clemson this one. I mean, you give up, 60-something to Maryland, and Clemson's a tad better than Maryland, so...
Trevor Lawrence is struggling.
Just a tad.
Trevor Lawrence is
Trevor Lawrence
struggling.
hasn't
He's
played.
struggling,
He hasn't
but-
played as well as he.
2 touchdowns,
yeah.
3 interceptions so
Yeah.
far.
But, maybe this will be his breakout game.
They
could
only
be.
get better.
Yes, that is
Scary.
true. Next game, Maryland at Temple.
That's a.
Can Maryland keep it going?
I think
No?
Maryland can keep it going. I think Temple is probably one of the better group of 5 teams out there, if not top 5. I would say. I think it'll be closer than some people expect it to be, but I think Maryland's gonna win.
I got Maryland in this one. They've been playing pretty well lately.
I've got Maryland as well. It could be close. It's at Temple, which is interesting to me. It's not actually at Temple. They play at the Eagle Stadium. But Maryland has a major hype wave going right now, and I think they're just going to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I think the momentum that Maryland has, you really can't stop that, so I'm going to go with Maryland as well.
Play Penn State after a bye week. Last game, Iowa at Iowa State. That's where we're at right now. Give me your pick and then one key to the game.
All right, so I really think I was going back and forth on this one. I really like what Iowa had done the last 2 weeks. They won their first 2 games pretty handily. Iowa State obviously played really poorly against UNI. They let that game go to 3 overtimes. Shouldn't have gone that far. They had a lot of miscues. They had that one fumble by Brock Purdy. I really think the key for Iowa State to win is going to be to win the battle in the trenches on offense, at least. I think their defense versus Iowa's offense, it'll be a close battle, but I think it really will come down to how can our offense match their defense. I'm going to take Iowa State by 1 possession.
First of all, shout out to Rutgers punter last week against Iowa. Incredible performance. But I really like the way that Iowa's offense was rolling down the field, especially that 97-yard touchdown possession there. So I think if the Hawkeyes can get their run game rolling early in the game, I think they'll come out in a close, low-scoring game. I got the Hawkeyes.
The run game has been doing well so far. Which is
Well,
not
if they can establish it against the tough Iowa State.
this is a different opponent.
Yeah.
This game's always a close game, even when Iowa State had down years or when Iowa has down years. Now they're both supposed to be good, should be close. The key is going to be Iowa State's passing game against Iowa's secondary. They have some injuries back there right now. They haven't looked great against their 2 other teams that they played, but I think that's going to be the big thing is if Iowa State can get the pass game going, I think it'll be tough for Iowa to win. I'm going to pick Iowa, though. I have to. I can't go against Iowa. I've got Iowa winning 24-20. I think Brock Purdy and the offense does better, but I think Iowa's going to be able to get the run game going still, and they're going to win 24-20.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Iowa State this one. I'm repping them still. But I think the key to the game for them would probably be to get their pass game going. I mean, last week obviously never really got going. Had a couple of decent plays, but nothing really beyond 10 yards. And that was, I think, what really killed them last week. And that's what they got to get going this week. Even last season, the passing game wasn't that great in the game versus Iowa anyway. And
Yeah, so you're right. They really struggled on offense in that game.
I think that more aggressive play calling would probably help them out.
Right.
with that,
Yeah,
so.
they were really conservative against UNI, which was really surprising to me.
Yeah,
I thought
that
they
was-
would have brought out a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely thought.
I thought it was a fluke last week or 2 weeks ago against UNI.
I think it was to an extent.
It could.
I think.
Yeah. I think it's going to be obviously like the Iowa State game, so it's definitely going to be a close game. It's going to be different. They're going to play. If that was their true level against UNI, they're still going to play above
Right.
that level.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Being Iowa, they're definitely gonna.
It'll be an exciting game to watch.
It'll be an
It's going to be
electric crowd. It's going to
quite
be
the game.
packed.
Yeah, game day in the morning.
It's going to be a capacity crowd in here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they said sold out tonight.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be sold out.
All right. So that about wrap it
That's
up.
on Fox Sports
All right.
1 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Sad.
So
Do
we
not
will
miss
see
that
you
game.
tomorrow morning at. So let's see. It'll be in 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours. We will see you at College Game Day.
Yes, we
It's
will.
almost bedtime over here. in
400
Ames.
feet that way, and we will see you for the game 12 hours after that.
That wraps it up. Next time Penthouse game day is in Madison, Iowa-Wisconsin game.
Yes, sir.
So here we
Round
go.
2.